Hi, I'm Lex, that dude, and I've had a pretty unique few years. The past 4 years, I have gotten married, realized I was transgendered, moved from California to North Carolina, from North Carolina to New York, got my titties chopped off in New York, then moved back to North Carolina. I've given myself over 100 shots of testosterone. I think that's just kind of the beginning. The cool part is, I have documented my whole journey. I have hundreds of hours of footage and thousands of pictures just ready to show. You guys get to see my past, chill with me in the present. I guess we'll battle my future together. Welcome all. This is Evolution of Lex.
Ooh, darn eggs, huh? Let me see what you're doing there. Ooh, you've done a good job. Lex, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing. Y'all having fun? Smile, say cheese. Cheese!
So I'm Lex Sugar. I was born Alexis Jeffcoat in South Carolina. Two sisters and brother. You could definitely describe me as a very hyperactive child.
ATV, camera recorder, live. Got a little microphone here, and I'm going into it. I'm gonna pop you real hard. Wild beast shirt. Back it up. Wild beast. Yep. See, it says wild beast right there. Well, sit down.
Where did I grow up? Lexington, South Carolina, where nothing happens. Home of the nothing land. You might see a new Chick-fil-A if you don't go by like for 6 years, or the mall might have been renovated or something, but there's not like, you know.
How old were you when you first realized you were transgender, and how old are you now?
Well, easy one is 36 years old now, and 33 when I discovered I was transgender. Technically, 33. That's when I realized I needed to get on like hormones and stuff. That's when it was like the full-blown, in-your-face sign, you're trans, over here. Like, that's when I like knew. I mean, obviously, you don't think about who you are when you're a kid. You don't think about what your sex is. Like, how often do you think about your sex? You know, it's not something that like comes up in your life. You just be you do your thing, and it's not like that's not something that I really ever thought about until it got really uncomfortable. Like, boobs started growing, and blood started coming out between my legs, and weird was happening to my body that didn't seem natural to me, and so that's when I really started discovering it for myself. It's not until I realized I could do something about it. Main thing I can remember, especially when it comes to clothes and stuff, is I had like Matt, my cousin. He's probably like 3 or 4 years younger than I am. And anytime he got a present, like anytime he got clothes or shoes, even though he was younger than me, I could always fit in his stuff. So, because we would always be kind of the same size. There was a time when we were like the exact same size shoes and clothes. So I would steal his stuff. And he would get aggravated, but I would get excited that I could have like his hand-me-downs and stuff. Because obviously I was living in a world where little girls wear pink, boys wear blue. It was natural to me to wear that stuff. It wasn't like I was trying to make a statement by going and trying to be different than all the little girls. It was just like, that was just, when you walk into a store, where do you go in a section? You know, like, that's just kind of where I vlog.
I believe she can have some again. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky?
Shoot me. Oh my god. Well, I was my mom's first kid. She wanted the girl. I was the first girl on my dad's side of the family because my grandmother had 2 sons, so she was really excited. She's the one that named me, and she was really excited to have girls, and so I was always in dresses. But yeah, like like that was what they wanted. Because that was what they could see. A lot of humans only believe in what they can see, and you know, when it comes to like something like being transgendered, you know, people in the trans community, like, you can't see that in them because it's invisible. It's in them, you know, so you don't understand it.
All right, Lexi. Hey, Lexi, not that ball 3 miles, all right? Lexi, swing that bat.
I'm gonna.
So when I was 29 years old, I moved to California, and before that I had never moved from the South. I'd been in the South from year 1 to 29 and hadn't done much. Hadn't really gone too far away from where I was born. Went to school in California, and that kind of, I was going to an acting school, so in that environment I was forced to play roles that fit who I looked like, which is a woman. Something didn't feel right, more so than it didn't feel right just to be my skin, but now it's leaking into something that is my craft and that I love, and now it's affecting how I relate to something I love so much. And instead of thinking in school, instead of thinking about how awesome I can get in deep in this role, I'm thinking about something else that's superficial or awkward or uncomfortable, like I have to wear a dress or I have to kiss a guy. And I don't mind kissing a guy as in a role, that's not a problem, but to do it as a man, as myself, not to do it as kiss a man as a woman, because that's how you see me. So that was incredibly hard, but I met so many great people from everywhere while I was at ADA, and they, you know, I think just being around so many different people and cultures and so many types of people, and just seeing how they will react into their roles and how excited they were, and how, you know, that added changed everything when it came to finding out who I really was. And I think it was because I was there doing something I loved so much, but I was almost handicapped in it.
You like my Wild Beast shirt?
Okay, guys. So, we made it through part 1. I know, I'm ridiculous. But part 2 is going to show you a bunch of cool stuff. Part 2 is going to tell you what happened after California and how the hell I went from being confused to being this you see before you. Also, I'm going to end up showing you who helped me to kind of discover who I was throughout this whole thing, and how I told my wife. It's going to get juicy. But like I was saying at the beginning of this whole thing, I don't want to tell anyone how to live their life. I just want to kind of show my perspective. So, with that said, if you saw something or heard something I said, you know, that could be helpful for you in any way, or it's just kind of got you thinking a little bit, I've been there. And I guess sometimes our mind gets a little crazy and we just kind of want to know the first steps. Sometimes that just helps, is just to start somewhere really small. So what I did when I first started this whole transition is actually my wife researched, because she's very good at research, she researched a lot of doctors around me, and we just looked for a doctor that does hormone replacement, and then we just met some people. It could start really small and simple and easy, and this is scary, and you know, it's a big step, and it could get, you know, you could get in your head a lot, and I've been there. Trust me, if you could think of it throughout the transition, I have felt it or gone through it or done it. You know, I'm with you, and I get what you're saying and what you're feeling, and you know, just because I'm this far along in my transition, as far as being transgender and transitioning into my journey, just because I'm this far doesn't mean I wasn't, you know, in that first step. I don't want to just be an evolved trans guy. I want to be a you know, evolved human. So, thanks, guys. We did this. We made it. There's a lot of good stuff to come. I swear. Trust me.
Speak with clarity, 'cause there's too much noise around us.